Hey everybody, it's James here with Board Game Spotlight. I am joined with this very special guest, Heather Mann. Heather, say hi to everybody.
Hey everybody.
Heather is putting on Expedition Prototype Con 2017. You guys did this last year and doing it again this year. Tell us a little bit about, and I know before we get too far, Megan Fauci and your daughter Victoria are also helping you kind of put this thing together. So tell us a little bit about the con and what people that could possibly come to it, what would they expect to happen at this convention?
Okay, so this is a convention for designers, but it's a convention for all gamers because here's the thing. How many times do you open a game and you're like, oh, this really should have been play tested more, or oh, they really could have done this better? So this is an opportunity for the average gamer to come and put in their 2 cents worth, have a say in the game that's going to be, on your game shelf in the future. And for designers, you're going to meet, it's not going to be your mom plus play testing your game. It's not going to be your regular game group. It's going to be a whole different set of people where you're going to get really solid, input and conversation about your design, ways to make your design better. If it's great, hear that it's great. And if there's going to be publishers, so like, if you don't want to go the KS route, get it looked at, possibly by some publishers. So,
Well, I definitely know in the group there is a huge amount of designers and people who are first-time Kickstarters. And as I'm doing my first keynote speech just next month at Rocket City Games Fest, and one of the main subjects of my discussion is you should probably take your game and have it published by a publisher and not Kickstart it, because the market is flooded on Kickstarter, but B, if you get shot down by 20 or 30 different publishers, there's something to be said about that you need to keep working on your design. So it kind of sounds like your convention is almost a great way to kind of get all of that feedback in one weekend.
it really is. It really is. The thing with the publishers is they're so open. They're not just going to be like, no. They're going to be like, you know what? No, it's maybe not for me, but maybe try this publisher, or it's not something, or I have too much in my catalog, right now, but, maybe another time, or, maybe you should collaborate with something. That's one thing that I've seen a lot from a lot of very first time designers, where they're very super protective of their design, which I understand. Your game is your baby. I totally get that. But at the same time, there's a lot to be said from input from experienced designers, from people who have been in the industry, like, Richard Borg and Robert Burke and Lanius and Steve Avery. These guys, they will be there, and they will be happy to sit and play and talk and really give you perspective that you may not just get, anywhere else.
So the question probably everybody's asking right now is, when is it and how much does it cost?
So the convention is February 24th through 26th. It is in Kissimmee/Orlando. It is at the Flamingo Water Park Resort. And if you're a designer and you sign up before January 15th, it is $40 for the weekend. After the 15th, it's $50. Play testers are $20 for the weekend. This year, we added something that we learned from last year. Obviously, not everyone can attend conventions. And there are a lot of them out there. But when you're a designer, you do want as much feedback as possible. So we created something that we're calling the Playtest Library. For $35, you can send us a copy of your game. You will not be there. You will not be able to teach the game. It will be a true blind playtest, and the game will get played. We guarantee that the staff will play the game, and we will get feedback back to you on it.
That sounds like a really fantastic service. Where do they sign up for that? Is that on the Eventbrite page, or do they need how do they need to do that?
Yep, it's on the Eventbrite page. You can go to it through the Facebook groups. We have a new website, expeditionprototypecon.com. You can access all the information there as well.
Is there a cap on how many games that you're going to do that with?
Yes, there are 30 slots for that.
30 slots. And how many are still available?
I think there are about 20 still available.
Okay. Okay. So those are going to go quick because
Yes.
that's a great service.
Yes.
Okay. So the other thing I wanted to ask is there any other special events at the con other than just playing games and seeing things? Is there any other things going on outside of just the straight con?
So if you come and you're coming into town early, if you make it Thursday night, starting at 9 o'clock, we're going to have a networking mixer, and that is going to be just pre-registration. You can go ahead and pick up your badge early, and there's going to be, food and beverage, and a chance to just really mingle. And that's one thing also, that this industry is really a community. And if you're a newer designer, maybe you haven't got to make a lot of connections yet, and it's something that really can make a difference.
Absolutely.
I felt that was important. And the other thing is, we're going to be in the evenings having workshops or roundtables or keynotes, however you like to categorize it. We're going to have people, hopefully like yourself, talk about how to get the most from your Kickstarter project. You can't just launch a Kickstarter and like 3 days before go spam all the groups and be like, hey, BT dubs, I got a game. No, it's about the community. It's about building and how to best start that. And, we've got, there's a new fulfillment company that's coming, Quartermaster General. They're going to talk to you about fulfillment opportunities, and PH is going to
That's
be
huge.
there.
That's huge because out of when I got my first Kickstarter successfully done, the thing that I hated more than anything in the whole entire process was the logistics of fulfillment. Like, I hated it with a passion.
Yeah. Yeah. These guys are going to be able to talk about that. Like I said, PhD is going to be there. Mike's going to talk about, how they handle things, how they like to work with Kickstarter, designers. And we're also going to have some discussion on pitching and sell sheets, because those two things are very important. And it's like when you were in high school or college and you had that speech class and you practiced in front of the mirror. And yeah, you need to do that, because it makes a difference. I remember a couple years ago at BGG, I went to a playtesting event, and this guy's like, yeah, I've got this great game and I've been working on it for like 6 months. And he had a piece of paper with like squiggles and stuff drawn on it, and it was painful. And like, if we can help people not have to do that, then let's educate them and show them, this will get you a lot further. And one of the things that we've seen happen is, maybe this game isn't for you or for a publisher, but the publisher likes the designers and they have a concept and they need someone to help, develop later on or whatever. So that impression that you make on them is so, so important. And again, like I said, working with other designers, even if it's just talking to them and throwing ideas back and forth, or, like, hey, I have this great idea, but I have no time or interest in designing or developing it more beyond the idea, you know, collaboration can be so huge. So we're going to be offering a lot of discussions on those sorts of topics.
I know I've got a couple game designs myself that I feel like I've got good core mechanics to, but I know that it needs more to it to make it a real good game. And there's a couple of those that I'm actually looking for other designers to come on and co-design with me to really flesh it out and make it a great game. And that sounds like exactly like something that could happen here at your convention.
It definitely could.
So one of the big things I think that costs a lot, make conventions cost a lot, obviously, are hotel room costs. And so I've done a little research, and the place that you've picked is very, very affordable. I wanted to say I saw around $55 a night was for like a single king.
It's $70 for our group, right? Is for that weekend, it's $70, but that's for a king room or for two queens. And I know it's in February, but usually our average temperature is around 66 to 68 degrees. There is a water park at the hotel, and it is heated, and passes will be included with everyone's room night. So if
So
you're
bring the
ready,
family, let them play at the water park, go play games during the
exactly,
day. Awesome.
exactly. So
Awesome.
yeah, that was a really cool perk that we were able to get.
Well, Heather, this thing sounds great if you're a game designer or someone who just likes to be on the cutting edge of games and likes to play test and give feedback and be a part of that. So I know there'll be some people in the group that are very interested in that, and I know that there's limited space at this convention.
Yes,
So
especially for designers, signing up sooner is much better than later. One of the other things that we learned from last year that we're doing now on our website is we're going to have a projects page. And this is where designers will share their Facebook, website, all of that information so that people that are at the convention and they see your game and stuff like that, they can have a way to remember that specific project and follow it from where they saw it, where they play tested it, all the way through to its final iteration. So, and I will also say that there were several games last year that were signed, that have kickstarted, that have been successful, and it is a hugely amazing opportunity. If you can make it out, we'd love to see you.
awesome. That's all I've got. You got anything else you need to add?
Um, well, I have this other little convention. So
Go ahead.
if I could kind of throw that out there too, there are still a limited amount of Dice Tower Con tickets available in July, and so if you're looking for family vacation in the summer, uh, shout out for that. Check it out, and also it's great to play test in February at Prototype, and have your improvements and changes ready for Dice Tower later in July too.
Absolutely. I went to Dice Tower Con for the first time last year, and it's in my top absolute favorite cons to go to now. I don't know. I would hate to miss it going forward. It was just the right size, that it was big and it felt like a really, nice gaming convention, but it was small enough that I was actually able to meet people and talk to people and have a real good time. So
We
looking
work
forward to doing
hard,
it again.
so.
All right. Well, guys, that's it for this week. This was Heather, and this is Expedition Prototype Con. I will have the links below that you can find all the information on the Eventbrite. If you're a designer, you need to sign up and you need to get your game on that list before it fills up. So, guys, that's it. Heather.
Awesome. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye.
Hi, guys.